People often say to me, oh, I didn't see the point, Steve, because I've been good mates with that person for 20 years. That's even more of a reason to have a contract. The one thing to note, guys, is this, and it's super important, this, because I'll ask you a question. Raise your hands if you've been married and divorced. Right, look at that straight away. There's over 50% of the room already. Raise your hands if you've been in a relationship and had a breakup before. We've probably now got the whole room's hands up. Okay, raise your hands if you've ever been in a business partnership and it went a bit pear-shaped. Okay, there's another third of the room. So the point that I'm making, guys, is sometimes it's not for bad reasons that people do that. So raise your hands if you've had a point in your life where you were going a certain direction and something's happened. Maybe it's a birth of a child or a death in the family or something's happened and you've just completely changed your perception on life and your direction. Okay, look at that. There's probably 80% of the room. Now, think about it. Two people. You both meet on training and you both get on. You both got similar values. You really connect with that person on the 3D, on Elite, whatever that is. And you're both going, right, we want to do property. And you're both going on that little journey. And then a year into that journey, your wife gives birth to your child. And then straight away now, your priorities aren't as much of grinding and doing the 14 hours and being in the office. You actually want to be at home with your kids a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what do you think is going to happen then to the partner? What are they going to be thinking? When you're at home with the kids and they're in the office doing the 14 hours? They're going to resent you, or vice versa. How are you going to feel if you're the one in the office and then all of a sudden your partner's now with their baby? Now, it's not that anything bad happened, is it? It's not like they're doing anything unethical or anything like that. They're just on their journey and something become a bigger priority. Now, this is something that you all need to bear in mind because this happens, and I've done this on my journey, and I know that you lot will have too, that certain points you decide you're going off on a different direction. Maybe you get bored of something. Anyone done that? Just been in a career, been in a job and thought, I've had enough of this now, I fancy a change. Raise your hands if you've ever done that. Look at that around the room now. There's probably 90% of the room. Okay, now the problem is, two people are in a business and one of those goes, I fancy a change. And what happens now? What about this big vision we had? What about all these plans? What about all this property we've bought together? What about all this money we've put in together? Now, if you can be amicable about it and you've got something in your shareholders agreement, then probably you can do that and go separate ways and maybe make a clean cut. So my big advice to you, because I'm going to go over this more today, is if you're going to have a partnership with someone, and it's even more important because people often say to me, oh, I didn't see the point, Steve, because I've been good mates with that person for 20 years. That's even more of a reason to have a contract. And don't think that that's bad to say to that person, I want to have a contract. You're not saying that you don't trust them. So the way I reframe it is, because my relationship is that important with you, I want to make sure that we've got a contract. So we protect that, because that's the ultimate thing to me.